YouTube is still being all wonky, but welcome to Wednesday Night Live. I have been doing a lot of trays with vases, or not trays, sorry, bowls, and then also a few with alcohol inks. Today I'm going to do one a little bit differently. Now this is typically like a 3-part project, so I'm going to do at least the first part today, or right now, and then I'll try to come back later on tonight for the second part and go live again, but no guarantees. If I am not able to come back and do the second part live, I will post a full video of it either way, so you guys will get to see the end results, okay? Now, for anyone watching this later on replay, this is a live video. So the whole point is for me to chit chat with people, answer questions, say hi, etc. If that's not your kind of video, feel free to not watch. And for everyone else, say hi in the chat box. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And we will get started in just a second. Just gonna scooch this over. All right. And scooch this over. There we go. Okay. Hello, everybody. I have this pulled up on the computer too so I can see y'all. There we are. All right. Hey, Lori, I sent you an email. Please check it out. Hey, Veronica. Hey, Claire. Hey, Benet, Rhonda, Jill, Tony, Lori, Diana, Nadia, Raymond. Welcome, everybody. We've got Oregon in the house, Florida. Oh, it's got to be real hot there, huh? Virginia. Cool. Okay. Hello, Lavana. All right, so I'm going to throw on some gloves. I am preheating my resin for this, and I actually have my A bottle sitting outside in the sun to preheat it because I don't want to turn the heater on in here. It's a nice cool temperature, and the heater will just make it gross. Also, Veronica can grab you the link, but we do have an art auction. Oh, she just did. Okay, good. We've got an art auction ending in less than an hour. There are some really cool pieces in there. So please go and check that out before that ends. All right, so we're going to be a little more deliberate with the design on this one. Get the dies out of the way. And I'm going to start off with some gold mica and a paintbrush. And I want to kind of paint the design that's on this mold. It's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. So we've got the circles here. And when you're painting with the mica, try not to overdo it. You don't want a bunch of powder going everywhere. Don't stress about it too much. Okay. And it's going to take me a minute. Let me angle my computer a little bit better, so. No worries, Lori. It's okay. Sometimes I know people get busy or it goes to spam or whatever, so I definitely do not hold it against you. I just want to get this shipped out to you, that's all. Yeah, so what do you guys think of the new website? Did everyone see the new website up? It's pretty exciting. Hopefully you find it much easier to use, to navigate. There's more payment options. There's more shipping options. There's more product options. So instead of only being able to buy a set of paint, you can buy individual bottles. And same thing goes for actually micas and resin dyes. So as soon as things calm down for just a second, I'm going to be expanding the colors on those as well. And the paint line is like inches away from being done. Just trying to wrap up the last few colors, having difficulty getting some materials. So basically, as soon as those are done, the 36 kind of original colors. As soon as those are done, we can start adding some new colors in, which is really exciting. One of the first ones I'll be adding definitely is just a pearl white, because that's one of my favorites. Well, Nadia, the good thing is if you're doing it as a bowl, you do not need to fill it in all the way. If you're doing a tray, actually making a tray out of it, I would fill it in because you want trays to be thicker. You don't want them to bend under weight or whatever. But with a bowl, I want it to be a little bit thinner so it's easier to mold. Okay. And hi, Linda. Hi, Bonnie. There, anybody else I missed? Sorry. I'm trying to be fairly good with painting inside the lines here. Now I kind of tested this out on a coaster and it came out quite nicely, but I think I can do it even better on this bowl. And then I will be making this basically into a coaster kit as well, with a class, just like I did with the bowl kits. I just got to make sure I got it just how I like it first, and then we can make it into a kit. Thanks, Lori. Yeah, so please do me a favor. Check out the new website if you haven't. Same URL as mixedmediagirl.com. I really appreciate the support. It's been over a year in the making. It was a massive photo shoot that actually had to be redone. It was not the easiest project. And then trying to make sure that everything was set up properly, all your classes would transfer over properly. It was just a massive project. So appreciate everyone's patience with getting their new accounts created, and yeah. All right, almost done with this part. And then we'll get the resin mixed up. So if you are going to do anything like this, like design work, do it before you mix up your resin, because you want to be able to take your time with it. And once you mix your resin, you're on the clock. Thanks, Vinay. Now, especially since I'm preheating the resin a bit, I want to make sure I don't eat into my work time with this. Now these are going to be kind of covered different amounts. Like some of them have more gold on them. And I think that's going to actually look awesome. But you could do it equally if you want. Totally up to you. All right, I think that's pretty good. I am painting with the Polycolor Gold Metallic Mica, and then just a regular paintbrush. So now we're gonna get our resin mixed up. And by the way, guys, I reuse these buckets over and over. I let the stick dry, and then I peel the dried resin out. Sometimes it gives me more grief than others, but usually it's pretty easy. This time I got a little bit stuck, and it's really difficult with gloves on. Oh, there we go. But it should generally peel pretty much right out. Of course, on live videos, it always gives me a little more grief. Here, I finally got a grip on it, and voila. Pulled all the resin out. It's totally clean, basically like brand new, okay? I'm gonna grab the resin that's sitting right outside the door. In the meantime, make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you haven't yet done so. Feel free to share the video, and feel free to super chat or super sticker if you would like. Everything helps. All right, so I'm going to mix up about 12 ounces. I'm just going to set this right here. So we'll do 6 ounces of B, 6 ounces of A. And I like to pour the B in first because it's typically the more liquid of the two. However, if you preheat the A, it might become more liquid. Let's see how much I preheated it in the sun. Hey, Tina. It's about 100 degrees right now outside. Luckily, I have a good AC in the studio. Yep, that's nice and liquid. You see that, guys? It's not thick like normal. And that's going to help with the mixing. So especially if during the heat you're keeping your studio cooler, you might want to preheat your resin before pouring it a little more deeply like this. Now we want to stir for about 3 to 4 minutes. Make sure you scrape the sides, scrape the bottom as you stir. And I'm going to put this just a little closer to me to stir. So now is a great time to ask any questions if you have any. Also, once again, for anyone that just tuned in a little bit later. Oh no, that's gross, Veronica. We have an art auction ending in 45 minutes. Well, 44 minutes technically on Facebook. So Veronica's got the link right there. Please do me a favor, check that out. Got some really cool pieces. Okay. So scrape the sides, scrape the bottom, and just do that repeatedly. The biggest problem you'll ever have with these or with most resin projects is not mixing your resin fully or having incorrect ratios, and that will never cure. And especially if you're doing a bowl, that's a real problem because if it doesn't fully cure and it remains a little bendy, it'll just flatten back out and it won't hold its shape. So you want to make sure to mix fully. Mix it a little bit extra if you have to. I'd rather mix it too much than not enough. I'm going to be using 2 colors and clear. So let me think here. My daughter unfortunately used all of my 8-ounce cups earlier today, which is really annoying because I didn't know it until I came in here to do my live video. So this mold, I actually don't know how much it takes total. That's a great question. I would say around 20 ounces total, like if you were to fill it up all the way. Veronica's looking that up, see if she can find it for you. Tina said, how deep can you pour with your resin? That's a good question. So there's manufacturer's recommendations, right? That's the, I have to say this because, yeah. And that is 1/8 of an inch. However, we're going to be pouring definitely deeper than that here, and I do pyramids all the time where I'm pouring inches deep. So the best thing I could tell you is get to know your resin, learn to use it, and then you can bend the rules. When you preheat it, you have a lot more wiggle room. You can pour it a lot deeper, okay? But if you're brand new to using resin, do some simpler projects first and get familiar with the resin. Yeah, I'm talking about my resin. But this is just in general with any resin you have. Get familiar with it. Don't try to do a more difficult project to begin with. Okay, so I'm going to use white Alumilite resin dye in one of them. Now I want this to be kind of transparent. So I'm going to put like 3 drops in here. And then in the other one, I'm going to use some purple. I'm going to put 2 drops. And then I'm going to add some gold mica. Awesome, Karen. And that is going to make actually like a gorgeous, deep kind of burgundy color, which is one that I came up with recently. So I'm going to add basically a scoopful, a little tiny bit more of the gold. And then I'm going to fill these all the way up so that we have about 6 ounces of color. I'm leaving some clear. Now with the dyes, yeah, no worries. I believe it's about 20 ounces, but you can also always fill up your mold with water and measure that. With the dyes, you want to make sure that you mix it really well. You don't want to leave any stuck to the bottom of your cup or the side of your cup or anything else. Mix it in really well because it won't cure on its own. Micas are not quite as much of a problem. Hey Tara, yeah, you got here for the good part. Let me come around and show you guys this purple color. And those dyes go a long way. So I only put 2 drops in here. And I hope you guys can see that. It's really pretty. Okay, 1 second. Hold on 1 second, everybody. I'm trying to record this on my second phone, and apparently it's full. So let me just delete a couple things because I know there's people that are going to want to watch the whole video. And yeah, it would be not good if you could only see part of it. So let me just delete a couple things real quick before we get to the good part. Hopefully this will be enough. How's everyone's week going? Let me know in the chat box. Okay, hopefully that is enough. We will find out. If not, I'll just have to wing the video. Okay, you guys ready for the good part? Yeah, pretty purple. Okay, good. Yeah, Nadia said for this mold she uses about 18 ounces. Yeah, and when I say how much the mold takes, that's like to fill it all the way up, which you don't necessarily need to do. All right, so I'm going to start off with some clear in the middle. Now resin self-leveling, so we don't want to put too much. And I'm going to add some of these gold pieces called Golden Crush from Just For You Online UK. And they're like little pieces of golden stone. What is it made out of? I honestly don't know. Okay, but it's not glitter. I'll look at the package actually in just a second and see if it tells us. And now I'm going to go around with the purple around the outside here. Which is a little easier on a straighter mold. Oh, get out of my way. And you want to make sure you pour relatively evenly. And don't run out before you get to the end. So I tend to go back a little bit and add some more where I went a little lighter. Okay, that's sort of even. Now we're going to go in with the white right next to that. And remember, I didn't use a lot of the white dye, so it's relatively transparent. It's not as opaque as normal. And then I'm going to add more clear. And we'll let that clear kind of move out and merge with those colors. Some of my stones are floating out a bit. That's okay. Might move them back in with a stick in a second. All right, that should be plenty. Yeah, I am gonna take a stick. I should have put the stones in at the end. I got a little excited. Back to the middle with you. And these are kind of heavy, so they will sink. I don't care if they're perfectly in the middle, just I don't know if I'm going too far out. There we go. Now, if I could time lapse this, I would, because it's going to look really, really cool. Yes, the coasters are the ones that are in the art auction, and they're using these same colors, and I'm practicing making a kit out of it. So as soon as I get it pretty perfected, I'll make it into a kit. But if you watch this go, these colors will move into the white and it'll look really cool. I'm going to do a couple more things. Yay, your week has been epic. Hopefully, mostly in a good way. All right, let me get the heat gun. And just lightly heat this. Helps get rid of the air bubbles, helps with the flow. And I want to do one other thing that I didn't do on the coasters that I think will make this even a little bit better. I'm going to pull the design in from the outside. Carefully, ideally. I'm not going for straight lines. In fact, I want the opposite. I want them to be have a little bit of character. And I'm just going to pull from like every major point in the mold. How that's going to dry, I have no idea. But it's something I kind of wish I had done with the coasters, so we'll see. Keep in mind too, what you're looking at right now is the bottom of the mold. So it's going to look different on the other side. Although you could use either side, there's no rules. This is looking cool, huh? I'm definitely happy I decided to do these lines. I hope they dry nicely and add to that design. And I'm wiping off in between each time. You could have a napkin. I'm just using my hand because why not? I try to use as minimal materials as possible, including sticks, cups, gloves, etc. All right, well, I think this is going to be awesome. What do you guys think? I'm really excited. Okay, so that's all we're going to do at this point. It's going to continue to move. This purple will kind of shock you with how much it will move in, okay? And the white's going to keep moving and it'll kind of a bit, right? So anyone who's down for it, in about maybe 5.5 hours or so, because I did preheat it, So I'm thinking it's going to be less than 6 hours. So anywhere between 5 and 6 hours, I will do my best to come back and do another live for the next step of this project. Okay, you guys? In the meantime, please, please, please do me a favor. Check out the art auction. Check out the new website. And if you're not, oh, all right. If you're not following me yet on Facebook, as if any of you aren't, please do me a favor and follow me there as well. I am almost to 500,000 followers, and that's really exciting to me. So I'm hoping to hit that really soon and do an awesome giveaway. So please follow me there if you're not yet doing so. And I will see you all possibly later tonight. All right. Have a good night, guys. I'll see y'all later.